Hey guys, how's it going? Thank you for joining me today, Token Vaping. I am trying to get back on schedule with my reviews. Work has, been a little hectic at the moment, so I do apologize for that. But thank you for sticking by me, supporting me, and everything else. If to be so kind, that red subscribe button, go ahead and click that for me. So today's review, I was actually really excited to have a chance to do. I'm a big fan of the company. I've supported them for a while. I got to do a review on one of their very first devices. I was a huge fan of this newer one that came out, so I was totally excited to be able to get a chance to try this out. So the device is, I don't know if you can really see that, the Mach One, and it is their dual battery Squonker. Now I know there are a lot of videos out on this already, so I don't want to bog this down and bore you guys with all the super detailed specifications and everything else, but this is the really cool box that it comes in. And in the box, you get your standard, your instruction manual, you get your warranty card, and then you get their social media card, which also tells you where you can find their social media links and everything else. So you get the device, there's the cutout, and then you get your standard USB charging cable, so that will work on the micro USB. But it also comes with an RDA top as well, with the Squonker pin already installed. You also get the little accessory bag that has a screwdriver, T-bar tool, and then a regular 510 pin if you don't want to use it as a Squonker. But this is the beauty right here. And I got the navy blue or electric blue, however you want to look at that, but that is the device right there. And it is a beauty. This is the RDA that comes with it as well for the kit. It says Mach 1 on the side, and as you can tell, they use a 3 for the E, just to be a little different, but that is the side of that. It says it on both sides. And on the back, you have your Squonk bottle with a plate, which the plate is detachable. And here is the front face. And it does have a nice little speedometer type screen like that. Now, the device itself, it's about 91 millimeters this way. It's about 51 millimeters this way, and then about 33 and a half, give or take, wide. So it definitely is going to accommodate most RDAs and tanks or whatever you want to throw on this. Anything over a 30, then you're going to start getting close to the edge right here. But anything a 30 or under, it's going to fit fine, and it is centered like that. As you can tell, the fire button is on the front, and like I said, you do have a 1.3 inch screen on the front of that as well, and then you have your up and down buttons here. Now this has a really cool menu, as you can see right there as it looks. If you click this 3 times, it goes into the settings, to where on here, you just click the up and down arrows, and you can basically go into the different settings that you want to do. Now, again, I don't want to take the time to go through every single setting, but you do have the TC control, so you can adjust the ramp up time if you want. It does do bypass, it does do temp control, it does do standard wattage, and then under temp control, I believe it does nickel, stainless, and then I believe it does titanium. Don't quote me on that one. I will update that in the comment box below. But you can also change the wallpaper on this as well, which is actually, I think, really cool. You can change different looks of that. So it does have a bit of customizing ability to that, so that it definitely makes you feel like you can make it your device. Now, overall, I've been using this for about a couple of weeks, and it's been pretty solid. It's the very first Squonk device that I've had the opportunity to say that I own, and this was definitely one worth being for my first one. And then, like I said, on the back here, you do have the removable door that does have 4 magnets, and then there is your bottle. Now, the bottle and the way that it's housed in this device is actually really ingenious, because it's different than most of what's on the market. But therein lies one of my cons with this. So as standard as you have, it also incorporates with the fire button on the front. Now, I believe the reason why they did that is because since the bottle is on the back and you push it with your fingers like here, obviously the way you're holding it, you just fire it with your thumb. Now that might seem a little off for some people, just the ones that are used to the fire buttons on the side. But then in the same argument, if you're trying to use the fire button on the side, it gets a little bit more of a chore to actually get to the Squonk bottle to squeeze it. So it does make sense as to why they did it that way. Like I said, it does take a little bit of getting used to if you're used to side firing buttons. Either way, it still works rock solid. And as you squeeze the bottle. Now, what's cool about this bottle, like I said, it is a dual battery. So in here, you see the dual batteries, and then in the shape of it, in between is where the Squonk bottle is. And I'll pop this out real quick to show you. So one cool thing about the bottle is when you take the plate off, you see this little notch right here. That's basically for your fingertip or your nail if you have one, and you just pull the bottle down and just pop the bottle out. And then it basically kind of looks like that, and that's what houses the bottle. So I think it's cool because the bottle itself has that odd shape to where you have a battery on both sides, and it basically slides in nicely right in between the two, so it conserves on space. Whereas like when you have the round bottles, you know, they got to incorporate the shape of the device to accommodate the round bottle. So then you just basically make sure that it's attached onto your middle stem right in there. Push that up until you feel it stop, and that re-causes that vacuum seal that's in there, so that you don't have to worry about leaking or the fluid overpouring on the outside. And then it goes like this. Now, the one issue that I have with that though, yes, I understand that they had to make the bottle denser because of where it sits in the device, but compared to a lot of the other Squonk bottles that are out there that have the really squishy rubber type material out of that, this one definitely does have a bit of a harder feel to it. So you feel like you have to squeeze it harder, which in some instances might lead to flooding, you know, if you're not fully sure how much of the juice to squeeze out. Especially when you get down to the lower part of the bottle, then it feels like you're really having to compress on that. But again, once you start using it and you get comfortable with it, you know, it's like any other device that's out there. You kind of get used to that, so you get more comfortable with that as well. The only other issue that I have with it, and I don't know if it was just the device that I got, I don't know if there are other people out there that have experienced this as well. Whenever I squeeze on the back of the bottle, if I'm holding it down in here, right down in here where the bottom is, you can almost hear it. There's almost like a little clicking. I don't know if it's just because the plate came loose somehow, or if it's just from pressure on it, it's caused it to kind of do a warp thing. But whenever I do that, like right there, I don't know if that's standard or if that's just a common thing with the device itself. Like I said, I don't know if there's other people out there that have dealt with that. But it's just when you are squeezing on the front and you hear that sound from pushing on the front of the face, it kind of worries me sometimes, because then you feel like you're cracking something or something just like broke on it. So that is my only other concern really with the device, is the thickness or the I don't really even know if you want to call it the hardness of the bottle or just how non-squishy it is, and then that little clacking on the front plate by the buttons are really the only two cons I have. The RDA build, it is a dual post, so that does take some getting used to for people if you're used to not building on dual post, if you do triple or like a Jenny style or 4-post. But then you do have the Squonk pin right in there where there is the center. So when you squeeze the Squonk bottle, it comes up in there, and it does have a decent amount of juice, size juice well. The other thing that I thought was kind of different is on the RDA top, if you can see the cap, you've got 3 holes like this. You have 3, but the way that the cap is set, you only have 2 options with that. You can either have the top and bottom open like this, or if you turn it, you can have just the center hole open. So if you like the single airflow, or you have the dual openings. Now, I'm not fully sure why they did it that way. To be honest, I don't know if there was a specific reason or if they were just trying to do something a little different. With the top and the bottom hole open, you kind of can do the airflow wrap around the coil. With the center hole open, it kind of hits the coil directly. A lot of people, you know, with standard RDAs and things like that, they're just used to having the option to do a full open airflow. So it, again, something a little different. They're just trying to, you know, stand out from all the other devices that are on the market. But overall, for what it is, and especially being my first Squonk device, I'm very happy with it. It has definitely worked well for me. I do use it quite a bit. And it's just something that I do enjoy using. It does have the floating 510 connection as well. But beyond that, I mean, there's not a whole lot of complaints. Like I said, I have the 1 or 2 cons for me, but I mean, they just may be a personal thing. There might be other people that, you know, don't have a problem with it or don't mind it as well. But other than that, I mean, it works. It fires solid, you know, at 85. It works like a champ. So you can definitely go over to usvofficial.com and pick up one of these as well. They do have them in the blue, the red, and I believe there is a black. And I also know that there is a green as well. But definitely check them out. usvofficial.com. I will put that link in the comment box below. But that is my take on the Mach One Squonker. Definitely check them out if you don't own a Squonker and this is your first one. It absolutely will hold up and will definitely keep you happy. If you already have Squonkers and you're looking for something different, a little new, definitely check this out as well. As always, guys, I thank you for taking the time to watch my review, and hopefully this helps you decide whether or not, if you've been on the fence about picking one up for yourself, go get one. But until next time, vape on, vape strong, and always truly love yourself.